Well, hello, hello, hello. I'm about to set off on a venture to start my first business. This has been a long time coming, and I've thought and planned and devised and brainstormed and did a MSc in entrepreneurship and lots of online workshops. And last Wednesday, I did a workshop. You'll see it in my slides, but this is the nuts and bolts of starting a business in one way. So it's not going to be everyone's way. So this is probably aimed at like people with assets. So you've got a bit of asset, you've got access to finance, loan, funding, or some way. So you've this doesn't cover how to get it. It's just if you have access to it, of where to look for an online or a bricks and mortar business, give you something to do. Maybe you've got some income, but you are underutilized, particularly since 2020. Maybe you haven't earned anything, you're not doing anything with yourself. Maybe you just aren't getting out of the house and you're putting on weight. Yeah, so it's not for everyone. But for me, I've had, a bit of in my 20s, I worked in a cafe a couple of years ago. I finally got around to working in a clothes shop, but I haven't, and I've worked in publishing companies and sales offices, that kind of thing. And I've looked through, do I want to do a magazine? Would I like to have a clothes shop? I did car boots, like house clearances, getting rid of stuff. Do I want to sell on eBay? Can I get customers working from home, joining various support things like online workshopy, co-working things? And with all of that, something came along that I think will work for me and I can give it a go. So I'm going to share this experience. And so here are my slides. So here we go. Where are my slides? Where are my slides? Here we go. So gonna move the screen so you can see who the images are by, because I've used Pixabay. So this is the nuts and bolts of starting a business without the waffle. So I'm not going to assume who you are, what you are. There's a whole range of different things. This is probably when someone could acquire the assets in order to buy an online or a bricks and mortar business that's already an ongoing concern. It might already have staff, it's already got a turnover, it's already got profits, it's got accountant, it's got payroll, it's got staff, that kind of thing. So you're getting the opportunity to learn on the job while you're doing it. You can implement your ideas, you can see how it works, you can do the accounts, you can go in and make coffee, you could, so you can go in and work there and just learn how to run a business, because one business has got things in common with every kind of business. So this is for a lifestyle business, not for massive corporation or an international branch or PLC or IPO. It's not that. This is for something to do to try out your ideas, to learn how to make money, efficiencies, savings, all that kind of thing. So this is one route for someone who's a bit like me. So firstly, have a think and make a note. And also, this might happen over a long period of time. And this might be in amongst every other bit of life, but you might find that you're juggling lots and lots of different things. You get a phone call there, doing that there, and everything's separate and like that. But what you want is more of a hunter-gatherer thing, where you might be going over the thickets, you might be crossing the stream, you might be making a dam, but it's all for one purpose, one end point, to get a dinner and take it home to cook it for the tribe. A hunter-gatherer thinking where all of your actions are consistent. So, like getting a magazine to press, or um, having a platform for the latest bands to kickstart their careers. So it's purposeful. So this is the workshop I did in last week, and these are the things it covered. So I found I did this before in 2020, and I did it online, and at that time it just confused me, even though it inspired me, because I was doing an MSc in entrepreneurship at the university that required academic work, and almost everything here was the opposite said. So it was kind of, you have to use some accounting software. You have to do your tax return every quarter, because that was going to come in a bit sooner than it did and got delayed. You won't have time to listen to customer feedback and do marketing. You're going to be running the business. So this is all about like how to run a business. This is the nuts and bolts. When you get past 90,000 turnover, you need to register for VAT, but there are exceptions like food. So it's cafes, there might be exceptions. And that's something I have to look into for my idea. So register a business. I'm a sole trader. I do a tax return as a self-employed person. And so all I'd be doing was adding employment and getting a unique tax reference for employment. So I'm looking at an ongoing concern, buying a business locally, or you can buy one online, and continuing it and learning the business of basics by actually doing it. No better way, I'd have thought. So there you go. There's all the stuff you need. And I'm gonna like start out by doing the bookkeeping and learning about the accountants, the accounts, and all the other incomings and outgoings. So there are a couple of places you can look online. On the right, there's businessesforsale.com, and that's internet businesses. You could be anywhere for those, be a digital nomad, or there you go. I looked locally in Cornwall. Apparently, there are about 50 businesses, just one agency you're dealing with at the moment. So might not be the best time to start a cafe, but depends what ideas and other things, can at least increase the existing thing. If staff are just running it on a day-to-day basis and the owner isn't there, get more hands-on, increase the profits, make things efficient, make savings. So firstly, I'll look back on what I've done before. So I've done live music promotion. My first job was, I was like worked in a cafe. I washed up. I did some cooking, sort to make curries, served the customers, and booked the artist. Took on the artist promoting the people that they'd already booked, and I started to get people in, and then pay them at the end of the night, and then cash out. So that kind of thing. And we had a team. So I've looked at that. Live music promotion is what I've done successfully. You can also publicise, get in the local paper, get artists to stick their art on the walls. So I've organised exhibitions, been part of an art group. So these are all things that I would like to try. And also I've got my own coffee and other things like that, and have a really good soft drink section, not just substitute non-alcoholic alcohol drinks, just actual tasty soft drinks. They're not too sweet. So looking at options, risks, and so have you like me been trying to get something off the ground from scratch from home? It has never worked for me. I mean, I think people need more experience in that. Like, say you worked in a trade. I mean, I'm not going to take the risk of commit to, like, works in the trade of magazine publishing, but I'm not going to take the financial risk to pay for printing a magazine and putting it out there. So something that's already going. Running a cafe isn't too difficult. So for me, something that it's already doing, people are already doing it, where I can get involved and I can watch what's going on and I can learn about the business side and how to increase the profits and make efficiencies. So, what are the risks? So, the good old strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats thing to look at. So, looking at getting to know the existing business, what is it? Looking at the accounts, what are the incomings, what are the outgoings, and what's the profit, and that kind of thing. So obviously the tax will be dependent on what you yourself are paying. So be inserting that into your existing tax return, and then any things like VAT return or anything else, payroll, pensions, etc., national insurance. So now the time is to insert yourself. So you found the business, you found something you want to do. For me, it's going to be a cafe. And then you're looking at what can I bring to the table? What can I offer? So we're probably going to arrange a time to meet the team and basically ask them what they think, ask them if there's anything they want to do. You've already heard that one of them wants to open in the evening. There's a whole load of hours, 6 hours, 45 minutes every day that are not being used currently. So I can add that, and that's going to increase the potential revenue. So income streams, revenue streams, efficiencies, any kind of basic changes. I'd like to take the food from sugary stuff that's sold everywhere to healthy food and information, but also tasty, satisfying, and nutritious, not just what you think of healthy food. No, no, no. And also doing a website, which is what I can do. I can do a website, and I've got friends who are photographers, and I can take pictures of the food that is going to be served and try out ideas for menus and pricing and entertainments and that kind of thing. So all the information I need. So who the accountant who does the payroll, what are general things, who supplies the Wi-Fi, electricity and gas, um, do I need PRS? I've got to get myself a license for 7 drinks in the evening. Do I need any further entertainment license? Uh, who's going to cook? Do they have food hygiene? Everything. Gather all the information, and also, is there space that isn't being used, or do I want to move things around, or even try ways of increasing profits through more space to sit and maybe even rearranging outdoor space to sit, that kind of thing. So gather everything into one place, then a step-by-step action plan. So this is where I am now, and I'm looking at an action plan. And the first step is talking to my broker on Friday and finding out how to raise the finance plus a little bit of startup capital to pay our initial costs, because I'll start from zero. So the initial owner goes off with what he's earned so far, pays off anything owed, and I start from scratch. So step by step, and then let's go. So thank you very much for sticking this out. And if you would like to get involved in maybe a social group of people who are starting their first business and just taking these steps and actually supporting each other, then make a note of my contact details. And that shall be all. Thank you. And yeah, yeah, I would like to say thank you for watching, and I hope that the signal was okay. So cheerio for now.